Cheese, man. It's old. Older than your grandpa's complaints about kids these days. We're talking 8000 BCE, back when woolly mammoths still roamed and humans were just figuring out agriculture. Imagine you're a nomad, carrying milk in an animal stomach pouch. Hot sun beats down, suddenly you've got a lumpy, sour mess, but wait. This separated goop, the curds, they're interesting. This was likely the accidental birth of cheese. Necessity, as they say, is the mother of invention. And the father? Probably some dude who really liked cheese. Who knew those prehistoric cheese pioneers were onto something so delicious? Early cheese wasn't some fancy aged Roquefort. It was likely a rough, salty affair. Think of it as the cheese equivalent of a campfire-roasted rodent functional, probably a little gamey, but surprisingly satisfying. But hey, you got to start somewhere, right? This early cheese was a godsend for nomadic people. Preserving food, especially a protein source like milk, was crucial for survival. Cheese could travel with them, providing sustenance on long journeys. It was portable, durable, and packed a nutritional punch. As civilizations began to settle and flourish, so too did cheesemaking. No longer just a survival food, cheese became a valued part of the diet. Different regions developed their own unique techniques and flavors, influenced by local climate, terrain, and livestock. Cheese also gained cultural and religious significance. It was offered to gods, traded along ancient routes, and featured in early myths and legends. The Egyptians, those pyramid-building, cat-worshipping folks, were big fans of cheese. They even buried cheese with their pharaohs for sustenance in the afterlife. Talk about a cheesy send-off.
Ancient Egypt wasn't the only civilization smitten with cheese. The Greeks, those toga-wearing philosophers and athletes, were obsessed. They considered cheese a gift from the gods and attributed its creation to Aristaeus.
Greek mythology is full of cheese references. Remember Polyphemus, the Cyclops blinded by Odysseus? He loved cheese. And Zeus, nursed by the goat Amalthea, whose milk was said to grant immortality.
Across the Mediterranean, the Romans also had a soft spot for cheese. They developed sophisticated techniques and created a wide variety of cheeses. Cheese was a staple of the Roman diet, enjoyed by everyone from emperors to gladiators. With the fall of the Roman Empire, Europe entered the Middle Ages. Times were tough. Barbarians roamed, hygiene was questionable, and a good cheesemonger was hard to find. But fear not, cheese lovers, for the monasteries were here to save the day.
Monks, those pious brewers and scribes, also knew a thing or two about cheese. With their access to land, milk and time on their hands, when not praying or fending off Vikings, they became the guardians of cheese-making tradition. Monasteries developed new techniques, experimented with different milks, cow, sheep, goat, you name it, and created some of the world's most iconic cheeses. Think Brie, Camembert, and Gruyere, all with their origins in monastic cellars. These weren't just cheeses, they were works of art crafted with patience and skill.
Cheese was an important source of protein and calcium for monks who often followed a vegetarian diet. It was also a valuable commodity, traded or sold to support the monastery. In a way, these cheese-making monks were the original artisanal producers, dedicated to quality and tradition, plus they couldn't complain about their bosses, well, not out loud anyway. Section 5. Renaissance rebirth cheese explodes in flavor and variety. The Renaissance, a time of art, science, and really good cheese. As Europe emerged from the Middle Ages, so too did a renewed appreciation for the finer things in life. Cheese included. Exploration and trade introduced new ingredients and techniques. Cheddar, that crumbly delight from England, gained popularity. The Dutch were perfecting Gouda with its smooth, nutty flavor, and in Switzerland, Emmental, with its signature holes, thanks to those gas-producing bacteria, became all the rage. Cheese wasn't just for the elite anymore. It was enjoyed by people from all walks of life, appearing in markets, taverns, and on dinner tables across the continent. Cheese was even featured in Renaissance art, signifying prosperity and abundance. Michelangelo's David? He probably snacked on some Parmigiano Reggiano after posing all day. The Renaissance was a time of experimentation and innovation in cheesemaking. New recipes were developed, and cheesemakers began to refine their techniques, focusing on flavor and texture. This period laid the groundwork for the incredible diversity of cheeses we enjoy today. Section 6. Industrial Revolution, Mass Production, and the Modern Cheese Market. The Industrial Revolution brought about significant changes to cheesemaking. Gone were the days of monks quietly crafting cheese in their cellars. Mass production was on the rise, driven by new technologies and the demands of a growing population. Factories replaced monasteries, and cheesemaking became a large-scale industry. New equipment, like pasteurization and mechanized cheese presses, made it possible to produce cheese faster and in larger quantities. This made cheese more affordable and accessible to the masses. But this industrialization came at a cost. The focus shifted from quality and tradition to efficiency and profit. Many mass-produced cheeses lacked the flavor and complexity of their artisanal counterparts. It was the cheese equivalent of trading your grandma's homemade lasagna for a microwavable TV dinner. Still, the Industrial Revolution had a profound impact on the cheese world. It created a global market for cheese, connecting producers and consumers across continents. And while some lamented the loss of traditional methods, others embraced the convenience and affordability of mass-produced cheese. Section 7. A World of Cheese, exploring global cheese traditions. Cheesemaking wasn't confined to Europe. Throughout history, cultures around the world developed their own unique cheese traditions, each with its own distinct flavors and techniques. In the Middle East, cheese played a vital role in nomadic cultures. Feta, a brined cheese made from sheep's or goat's milk, has been enjoyed for centuries. Halloumi, a grilling cheese from Cyprus, is another example of the region's diverse cheese culture. Asia also boasts a rich cheese heritage. Paneer, a fresh cheese used in Indian cuisine, is a staple ingredient in countless dishes. Yak cheese, with its strong flavor, is a delicacy in Tibet and Nepal. The Americas, despite being a relatively young cheese-making region, have made their mark. From the creamy queso fresco of Mexico to the tangy cheddar-like Colby of the United States, the Americas offer a diverse and delicious cheese landscape. Section 8. Artisanal Revival, celebrating quality and tradition. In recent decades, there's been a growing appreciation for artisanal cheese. People are rediscovering the unique flavors and textures of traditionally made cheeses, crafted with care and attention to detail. Small-scale cheesemakers are popping up everywhere, from the rolling hills of Vermont to the bustling streets of Brooklyn. They're experimenting with new flavors, reviving old recipes, and pushing the boundaries of cheesemaking. This artisanal cheese movement is about more than just taste. It's about supporting small producers, preserving traditional methods, and connecting with the origins of our food. It's about appreciating the artistry and passion that goes into every wheel of cheese. Consumers are becoming more discerning, seeking out cheeses with a story, a sense of place, and a commitment to quality. They're attending cheese tastings, visiting cheese farms, and learning about the cheesemaking process.
And you know, it's really inspiring to see how people are embracing the craft. The connection between cheesemaker and consumer is more meaningful than ever. It's a beautiful thing to witness.
Section 9. Cheese Today and Tomorrow, a Delicious Future. Cheese, once an accidental discovery, has become a global phenomenon. From humble beginnings to industrial production and the artisanal revival, cheese has come a long way. Today we live in a golden age of cheese. Never before have we had access to such a wide variety of cheeses from every corner of the globe. Whether you prefer a sharp cheddar, a creamy brie, or a pungent blue cheese, there's a cheese out there for everyone. But what does the future hold for cheese? Climate change, animal welfare concerns, and evolving consumer preferences are all shaping the industry. We're seeing a rise in plant-based cheese alternatives, a renewed focus on sustainability, and a growing interest in exploring new flavors and textures. One thing's for sure, cheese will continue to evolve and adapt. New technologies, innovative cheesemakers, and adventurous eaters will ensure that the future of cheese is as diverse and delicious as its past. Section 10. Conclusion, a timeless culinary treasure. Cheese, man, it's a journey, a story told through millennia, from those first accidental curds to the artisanal masterpieces we savor today. It's a testament to human ingenuity, our desire to transform simple ingredients into something extraordinary. So next time you slice into a hunk of cheddar or spread some brie on a cracker, take a moment to appreciate the long and delicious history behind it. Cheese is more than just food, it's a cultural touchstone, a symbol of tradition, and a testament to the enduring power of a good meal. Cheers to cheese in all its glorious forms. Now, if you'll excuse me, I've got a date with a cheese plate.